Yo, what is up, everybody? Chris here from FaZe Sports News, Rotation out ever the flip you don't man these interwebs, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a quick recap of what happened during yesterday's matches at the time of recording, that of course being Championship Sunday in our CDL Major 1. Now, hope you guys enjoyed the intro as always, and I'm actually bringing back, I think, the face cam today. If it looks good and if it edits well, then it'll be here and you'll be seeing me. Just trying something a little bit new. If it's not appearing, then you know what happened. Hashtag rips in the chat. Speaking of hashtag rips in the chat, let's look at our first series of Championship Sunday. That, of course, being FaZe Vegas taking on G2 Minnesota. And, of course, CEO did CEO things like I was thinking. I thought Drazah would be the series MVP, as you guys know, going into Sunday. I was talking about how great Drazah had been playing all weekend. And I thought it would continue because, as you guys know, if you watch my preview video of the event, I said that Drazah would be the make-or-break player for this FaZe team. If he had a good weekend, I thought FaZe would make it very far and make it all the way to Championship Sunday. Consequently, he had a great weekend, and they made it to Championship Sunday, so that was a good read. Speaking of good reads, like I said, Drazah 1.18, 98 and 83, 12,000 damage, and a 1.02 series IR, which is well above the average. So Blackheart 1.07, Colossus 1.22 in the S&D, and then the Overload 1.39 on Dem, and then on Dem where they ran it back 1.04, and on the Scar map 5, he of course had a 2 KD, so he's probably about 10 and 5 you have to guess. So, looking at the scoreboard, of course you can see that Estriel, of course the player that was retained by G2 in the offseason, had a great game. He went 90 and 82, Kremp went 95 and 92 himself, so great showing from that duo. But on the other side, Drazah was everything, and Simp was pretty close behind him, and then 04 as well. He was a really, really solid contributor in this series, even though he had a .95. He had 11,000 damage, third best in the lobby on his team, and yeah, he was a solid contributor, so they got the win. Speaking of getting a win, you guys can see another close hard point for G2 Minnesota. So actually, let me pull up the highlights, so we'll check these out together. We'll check out the last hill and see how this game ended. Estriel dropped 40 and 24, Kremp 34 and 29 for the dub, Mamba 28 and 30, and Skies had a bad game 17 and 26. Then on the other side, Drazah was the only player positive on FaZe with 32 and 30, Booza 26 and 28, Simp 27 and 33, and 04 27 and 33, and Simp 22 and 30. So Simp got off to a really slow start, and people were quite concerned. I'm people, and yeah, I mean he turned up for sure, but it was definitely a little bit nervy. So, let's check out some of these highlights. We made it to 669 subscribers. Thank you to everyone who has subbed to the channel. I think I started at like maybe 660 start of the major, so appreciate all the love and support over the weekend. You guys have been going absolutely nuts, and I really, really appreciate it.
I don't know. I can't give you an answer yet.
Number one seed for a reason. You get a chance to play one of those two teams if you win right here, and it's time to lock in.
Why does my audio sound so weird? Better now?
Your first scuff pick'ems of the day.
Better now.
Rosalie,
so
let's
weird.
make it 38. Where are we going?
Alright, so let's check out the end of this Blackheart, right? Let's scrub on through, go full screen so you guys can actually see it. Let's just check out the rest of this from here. Okay, I feel like this is a good place to start.
Unbelievable gunfight finds the Skies now for the front. He's keeping those kills rolling. A Boozer with a break, and now FaZe are in.
It's a nice punch back. You're losing in the middle of the map though, but 3 players scattered around time in only 20 seconds. G2, a bit of a delicate game. You don't want to overcommit for the break. You need to set up on rotation.
Dude, Kremp is a beast. I'm such a fan, bro. I'm such a fan. Oh my god, look at this guy. They got Estriel, dude. This one's been terrible to play against. If I'm FaZe, I would hate to play against these guys. Clearly, right? Because they're 1 and 2 against them.
Boozer trying to hold. Gets involved. That's going to be 3 dead. Last man for G2 is going to be Mamba. How much damage can
in terms of frequency, I think this matchup and the matchup between OpTic and Mates have the highest frequency in the CDL. I'll have to look into that. Like, who's played the most over the years?
Enough for the trades to roll through. Well, 0-4 there from 1. Decimated. Taken down at Simp. Continues to get fried. Mamba good for 2. G2 back in time.
Mamba slithers his way to the back line now. Kremp through the mid door. Over to the right flank now we go. It's going to be Mamba trying to lock it down. Kremp with the damage. Crip from up high. Can he find the next man? No. FaZe with the numbers. They've cut the defense in half, but it all comes down to Draz now on the push. He's still alive and loses the fight for time.
Well, Sky's one final man around, and Booz is gonna nice and secure, but P1 is where magic things can happen, and Simp overwhelmed and traded. G2 set up, they need 11 seconds, and this game is theirs.
This is their P1. They've locked it down. We got trophies. FaZe trying to flood through the door. The threshold has been crossed.
There goes
Fred
Twin.
looking for the chows. Oh, 3 dead
Twin
straight
and the
away.
CEO.
FaZe find a way inside.
And this is a hill you can lock down. Make no mistake, it is now FaZe that can win this game on P1.
Now you just got to title up. Knuckle up.
I don't know
Get
if
ready
the
for
audio
hit.
is chalked
Up
for
and
you
out
guys
through
or
the
if that's just my
Taken care
headset
of.
tweaking.
Next man's through the window. Estral, they've broken the threshold, but it is a boozer with 2. Skies down. FaZe hold.
And the holds are easy, but at least G2 are going to force the rotation if they are unable to get the break. So G2, they can play
Simp
for the
is him,
spawns,
bro.
which Estriel just got for his team. Now you can overcommit and go for the time.
Trying to find another. Simp gets the kill on the outside door. Can they overcommit? There's Estral now through the side. Trades once again immaculate. Simp finding these kills all over the place. Contest is good. They have the road, G2.
Well, the win condition might just be this rotation. And Simp's off the map, and one Mamba's getting
Tough.
for both of those kills. But look at the spawns. It is too far away. G2, the win condition is theirs, as is map
And that's how the game ended.
Goodness.
So that's how map 1 went 250 to 236 in favor of Minnesota. Estrella at 1.67, like I said before. 6-7, 6-7, you know. Yeah, so looking at map 2, we of course had a Colossus S&D. Abuza was the MVP with a 2 KD. He went 8 and 4. He was just shot calling and doing it all. I mean, he had the snipe as usual, right? Abuza with the snipe is a scary sight, as they said in that Chief Keef song. So 04 was 10-7. Draza was 11-9. Draza had an insane takeover in this map, and he was the difference maker. And Simp had a bad one, 3 and 8. So he continued his rough showing from map 1 into map 2. Slightly concerning, but it's Simp. Everybody's kind of like, he'll probably get back. Get back he did. 1.58 KD, 30 and 19, which if you know how exposure plays out, 30 kills in exposure is pretty insane if we're being honest. 1.58. Draza 1.39, 25 and 18. 04, 25 and 21, 1.19. And Abuza went even 17 and 17. Everybody on G2 went negative, so not a lot to take away from that. This Den HP, we'll check that out as well because it went 250 to 206 in favor of the Minnesota G2 side. As you guys can see, Mamba dropped to 1.59. He was the kill leader here. He had a great Sunday, it has to be said. 35 and 22. Estriel 26 and 21, 1.24. Kremp 23 and 21, 1.1. And Draws with a slightly paused KD 24 and 23 with a 1.04. So we finished things on the Scar S&D where FaZe 6-0'd these guys. So Abuza had a 5 KD. He didn't die. 5 kills, no deaths. Simp 8 and 2. Draws 6 and 3. Okay, that's how he got the 2 KD. And then 04 was 5 and 3. So let's check out the map 4 and see how that ended. Clearly we know it ended with the G2 win, but let's see how it came to fruition.
Contest time. You're looking for
Very least, get the man off of time. A couple of trophies in play there will help against the Sidewinders, but for now, dealer's choice on where to send the main missile. It does not connect. 20 to go.
Yeah, and you use that Hellstorm in its phase, it's right back in time, so that effectively does nothing for you. And you're going to lose these spawns as well. Simp now working the pinch. And Simp there, yeah, good for one in the feed, and he's going to be trying to block off spawn. You end up getting that bottom left, though, so Simp can't quite make the play. G2, the opportunity's still here.
This is a good fight. 04 with a grenade. And it blows up just the right time to take care of Sky. So much damage. 04 not able to get the second. Mum is now in the fight. Abuza through
Hopefully
side
the
door,
crackling
gets
and
blown up.
static
A
isn't
halo.
there for
Simp
you guys
takes it.
too.
Simp, last man on point.
First, this is a difficult hill.
Sorry, I had to reset my headset, see if that fixed it. It sounds like it fixed it. I don't know what's going on with my Astros right now. These A50s are they're so weird sometimes. Krempy. Alright, and that's how we finished the map 4. We're not going to check out the map 5 because, as you guys saw, it was a 6-0, very dominant scoreline to close it out. speaking of dominant score lines to close it out, as you guys can see, my G-Stake wagers on Sunday were on point. Wagered 127 creds on FaZe, got paid 204. I wagered 245 creds on OpTic, I got paid 504. If only this was real money, dude. I would never put this much real money on COD ever, though, so I guess they got me. So, speaking of people who got me, Shotzzy, you know, if no one got me, Shotzzy got me, you know, it's like that meme. 1.37 from the kid, 63 and 46. Warlord did Warlord things. He brought out that belt and, whoosh, you know what I'm saying? Just took it straight to the backs of the Paris Gentlemates pause. And 7,500 damage, 7,100 damage, excuse me, 1.24 IR, clearly elite. He's one of the elites, as that lady says on TikTok. You're one of my elite employees. Scar map 1, 1.04 KD. Scar map 2, 5 KD, so he's probably like 10 and 2. I remember he was running it down on the Scar. And then exposure, he had a 1.44 KD, so well-deserved series MVP for the Warlord, Mr. Shotzzy himself. So, looking at the overall scorecard, we of course see that Sib was the standout for the Gentlemate side. I mean, not a great series for any of these guys. Even KD for Sib as a standout. I mean, that just shows how much of a slaying differential there was, right? So looking at the OpTic Texas side on the scoreboard, of course, Shotzzy was the standout with 63 and 46 in the 3-map series. You know, makes sense. Low kills because it's only 3 maps. So 1.37 for him. Dashy had a 1.17. Hook had a 1.15, and Merc had a slightly bad series, 0.96, 54 and 56. This is the first time I really saw Merc not look like he had all of last year. A little bit interesting, but, you know, to be expected. At some point, you're not going to look the best, right? Can't be the best every day. So let's check out the ending of this Mates versus OpTic Hardpoint. And then we will move on to the next series because the other maps were not close. Let's check it out from here.
Paris to break, to look for the win. OpTic continue the hold though. Who continues to try and finesse towards the back. Great
this
job.
nade was nice.
He's keeping him out of the fight, and a beautiful nade there. Simtex will connect. His teammates getting it done around the point as well. 210, 40 needed for OpTic. They're clicking at the right moment, and Paris might be in trouble. Dashy continues
I don't know what
to
was
go
up with my audio at first.
as he wins a big gunfight.
It comes
that
back.
was a sixth sense. Envoy's hitting that
Right
with
as I mentioned,
20
it comes back.
seconds left, and he just reads that, pre-aims it, wins the fight.
Like I said, for OpTic, it is when it matters. OpTic
That's
to break
huge.
here for the win. Well, pistol out, tries to finesse shots. He can't do it.
Sorry, y'all. I just reset it again. I just reset my headset again.
Neptune, good angle there for mid. That'll be 2 for him, and he's going to try to chop down this push.
I'll have to look up why the
Dashy
static
continues
happens.
to be brilliant. Hoop with the opener with him. And that's a break through the front, and that's a foot into the hold. 15, now to go for the dub. Paris sweating. Paris getting fried. One player left, and he's traded out by Shotzzy. So far, so good.
Yeah, 10 seconds to go. Some split spawns are in. You're pushing on through. Paris continue to fight, but it might just be a little bit too late.
They battle back in. They're winning the gunfights to give them a shot. But every second, a dagger just slipping on in as Mercules. He'll get them 2 ticks. Can Paris be perfect? Here's Shotzzy, though. He took damage. He had a gunfight, so they're aware he's trying to make the play. Do they deal with it? He gets the player out of the hard point. That's a big pick. Movement, wondrous, but can't quite finish it. Not going to matter. His team will get the rest. OpTic.
And that's how the map 1 ended. We're not going to watch map 2 because, as you guys can see, it was another 6-0. We had back-to-back S&D 6-0s. I don't know if you guys realize that. Probably do if you're watching it. Recording it is definitely a little bit different. But, yeah, I mean, seriously. Dashy was 8-0, just like Abuza. Okay, so you had an 8-0 and you had an 0-5. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's ever happened in the same map. I'll have to ask Brian or somebody if that's ever happened. I'll have to make a mental note of that. Wow. 8-0 and 0-5. So, yeah, not a lot to look at there. I mean, Mates just got absolutely blown out. Let's look a little bit at the box scores. Dashy took over here. Shotzzy as well, 10-2. Merc 6-4. Not a lot to do when you go 6-0 up to win the map. And then similar story on the overload on exposure. Of course, Mates made it close in the back half. Like, it was a pretty close game, and it was pretty much just a demon lobby where everybody's slaying out. And then OpTic was able to get some objective efficiency on their side. They were able to play really well, capturing the overloads in crucial moments, and you know, holding off the Gentlemate slaying effectively to a point where they were able to win 4-1, right? Like you would expect Gentlemate to probably bounce back here. But their overload's not been the greatest, so you know, that's really the problem. Speaking of the problem, it was Travis Neptune McLeod in this series against FaZe Vegas. This one was absolutely insane. This was easily the series of the year because of how it ended, not because of how it started. So, looking at Neptune, our series MVP hit a 1.06, 88 kills, 83 deaths, 11,000 damage, and a series IR of 1. So, pretty average, but everybody in the lobby was shooting, so your stats are definitely going to take a dip. So, map 1, Scar, he of course had 0.89. Map 2, Exposure, S&D at a 1.33. Map 3, Exposure Overload, he had 0.95. Map 4, Colossus, HP, he had a 1.04. And map 5, of course, that being Colossus S&D, he had a 2.17. So, not super hard to see why he got MVP in the series. He had a great series, even though it was a little up and down. He had more ups and downs, decidedly. So, looking at the scorecard, of course, we see Simp got his get back. He was on point this time, unlike the earlier series in the day where he was not really much of a factor. He definitely was a factor in this one. So, he had 97 and 85, 1.14. Abuza had 98 and 89. Draws had 87 and 82, and 04 went slightly negative, 85 and 88. So, great performance from all four of them. Then on the other side, great performance from everybody. Envoy had a rarely bad series. Like, he doesn't usually have series this bad where he's negative close to 20, negative 19. And then, of course, Ghosty was negative about 10. So, to think that they won this series, it's a little bit preposterous, right? A little bit ludicrous. So, let's see. The map 2 went 250 to 182 in favor of FaZe Vegas. Of course, behind Simp's insane performance, 33 and 22, 1.5. 04, 32 and 25 with a 1.28. Abuza with a 1.15, going 30 and 26. And then the CEO had a 1.12. He went 28 and 25. Now, on the mate side, the only person to go even was Sib with 27 and 27. Everybody else went negative. So, speaking of everybody going negative, that's what happened to FaZe Vegas in map 2. 04 was 1 and 7, Simp was 5 and 7, Abuza is 5 and 6, and Draws is 5 and 6. But they just couldn't bring it all together to win this map, and this would have obviously won them the series if they won this. Sib went 9 and 3. Of course, Envoy went 8 and 6. He had a great rebound from game 1. Neptune 4 and 3, and Ghosty 5 and 4. So that's how the map 2 ended in favor of the Gentlemates. In the map 3, Exposure Overload, FaZe were able to get their get back, and they honestly created some separation early in this game. They never looked back. It was pretty much park the bus cheese at the end, and you know how I feel about that. Boo, tomatoes, throw them at the stage, So, yeah. I mean, Abuza 29-19, he had a great game. You could say that his hoops were ethical, but everybody else's were a little bit ratty. So, looking at it, Draws 23 and 19, Simp 21-20, and 04 went even 19 and 19. Mate side, Ghosty went 21-20, Neptune 21-22, Sib 18-24, and Envoy 17-26. Oh great, Middle Earth Shadow of War is ready to play. So, speaking of war, that's what happened in the map 4, where the mates won. Hashtag mate win. Ghosty 30 and 26, Sib 31 and 27, Neptune 25 and 24, and Envoy was also with a 1.04 KD, 26 and 25. So, speaking of the FaZe Vegas side, Draza, the CEO, Drazilla, whatever you want to call him, he's the only one to go positive. He had a 1.08, 26 and 24. Everybody else on FaZe went like negative. Excuse me, a little bit of indigestion. 3, 4, and 5 kills respectively. So, yeah, I mean, if that's happening, you're probably getting outslayed pretty mightily as well. And then in the game 5, Colossus S&D, let's go and watch that because this was the most shambolic breakdown I've seen in a long time. Simp had a 1.86, 13 and 7. 04 was right there with him, 9 and 8 with a 1.13. And then Neptune's takeover in this game was unreal. 2.17 and 13 and 6. And that's how they were able to get it done. So let's check out the actual round 11. Fine. Perfect timing. This is where it starts.
Both teams right now do not want to make any mistakes.
Space clear. Initiation now to A.
That beeping noise gets me dead.
Are gonna re-clear B. Bomb not making a move yet, but Ghosty will now hop on. Look where they can set up their post plant, but no. Paris are going to just try to play this from the defensive side of the map. So we flipped the map around with 30 seconds on the clock.
I have no idea where FaZe is, but now you can't waste any more time. We have to get this planted and Simp in a position watching the pinch.
Have to figure someone from FaZe is going to jump down right in front of you. Can you find this kill and get your 3v2? It's Simp above. Sib timing gets information. Now you can alert yourself there's going to be a play over towards tunnel. Sib on the re-wrap. FaZe are all focused from the front. Long range shots are good for Simp. One more at range! Down just the one! And it's going to work out! Paris back to the grand.
Yeah, and that's the guy that I want to see.
That boy Sib is too hyped.
Neptune.
McLeod. Neptune. Yes, sir. So that's how Neptune got it done. Oh, let me show you guys the round 10, because this should never have happened in real life on land. Is this round 10?
Neptune's gonna have the advantage! Kill comes through!
So, watch, dude, Neptune is so dirty. He won a 1v1 versus Abuza.
Want to make sure.
Technical 1v2.
It to a 1v2.
Technical 1. Oh, it's a 1v3. Oh my god.
1v2 on Neptune versus. He may comes out. Will. He's got a clear. Versus.
Up against
With actual post their spawn. Decent. It's a boost. This is the advantage. Kill comes through. 1v2 for them.
Great nade.
I guess I include that clip in there twice. Whoopsies.
We're not done.
So here it is.
Forward to find one.
the information there at A.
The pair slide forward. They're trying to play. Neptune's looking for the hot hand. He's going to go forward to find one. Can he get away? Oh, a little bit of trouble for Envoy.
He gets
Neptune
two.
finds another. It's just down to Neptune's again.
He got an
Can he find the
ace.
kill at the top? Yes, just to the 1v1. Oh! We're not done. We're not done.
Wait, at the time I was watching that, I didn't realize he got an ace to force a round 11 in an elimination game to make the grand finals. Okay, I mean, what do you say other than mate win? I mean, wow. Okay. Speaking of mate win, that's how they booked themselves a trip to the grand finals where they finally got their hands on Mercules, Dashi, Hook, and Shotzzy once again after the Monster Invitational. They proved rock cheese, ledge cheese, jump spot cheese, unintended line of sight cheese, excuse me, all of it don't matter. Gentle mates in 7.
7?
Sib in 7. You know what I'm saying?
7?
Sib 7, you know? So, looking at it, of course, who else was the series MVP but Sib himself? 1.3 KD, 139 kills, 107 deaths. That's a Formula-esque Grand Finals performance, right? 18,000 damage, 1.02 series IR, and let's look at his KD per map. So 1.32 on Colossus, even KD on Raid. 1.85 on Scar. God, dog, he took over. 0.67 on Exposure, rough. And then they ran Exposure back, and he had a 2.25. And then they ran Exposure back again. He had a 1.3, and they closed it out on Scar with him having a 1.29. So, amazing showing from Sib. Mercules had 124 kills, 112 deaths. He had a 1.11. Shotzzy was the only person to give him real support. He had a 1.07. He had 129 kills, 121 deaths. And on the mate side, of course, Sib, as we already established, was a standout. 139 kills, 107 deaths. And who else but Neptune? Mr. McLeod was right there with him. 131 and 121 with a 1.08. And then Ghosty and Envoy had a 0.94 for Ghosty and a 0.93 for Envoy, respectively. So, solid contributions from them as well. They didn't get tucked to bed. So, speaking of people who got tucked to bed, we had OpTic Texas getting absolutely trounced in this map 1 by the Gentlemates. I mean, the Gentlemates were the best hardpoint team in the game going into this event, and especially this grand final. So, this is not too surprising of a result. 1.33 for Dan Ghosty, 1.32 for Sib, 1.17 for Neptune, and a 1.08 for Envoy. So, they all went positive, and the only person to even get close to it on the OpTic side was Mercules with 26 and 26 where he went even. So, speaking of even, We had a round 10 force a round 11 in the grand finals. Let's check that out.
You get the buff.
Check out the round 10 and 11.
Classic. Now, 2 seconds later.
Oops.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, to find the information,
All right,
but he's
here
not
we
going to need it. Ghosty, they
Have to throw very decisions he's going to need to make. But this is a great
Let's just
spot
check
for
out
Paris.
the rest of this
very
game.
wide shoulders, all to find the information, but he's not going to need it.
Oh my God.
Ghosty, they send it forward. Last man down.
Oh my God, that 3-piece is crazy.
And
Wow.
a volatile attack, all stuff anymore. Hook, the lifeguard, not letting anyone get away with that.
Well, Neptune's a nuisance. He's got Sid there for the backup. This is not a direction I would ever go, and Dashy gets caught in the meantime. Sib with the beamer.
Back we go. It was the middle of the map. Hook still our bomb carrier, and this time, no gunfights, no problems about dropping it. A bomb site is
Look
his
at this.
target.
Look at this in the middle of the map. Envoys in
Sneaky
between a pair.
Mercules.
He doesn't know. Does he know? .gif. Shotzzy, you know something's up. Oh, you sneaky beaver.
Well, Shotzzy just got through for free. Shotzy's going to be able to shoot multiple people in the back.
Big tags.
There you
big
go,
damage.
boy.
Shotzy's still going to be there. The phalanx now from OpTic Texas from one side to the other. Ghosty brings him down. It is all on Shotzzy. It is all on him, and Envoy knows something's up. And he catches him out.
That's how you force round
Almost well.
11.
Genomate's on the attempt.
Here is round 11.
Neptune, the first point of contact. He's the closest man now to the bomb, and he's desperately trying to find his opening kill.
And we just had crazy timing on the top side as well.
Oh,
Shotzzy
no.
falls for the first blood.
Clock's ticking. 25 seconds to go. Genomate's finding their way forward. Envoy now. The perfect pre-aim! And it's an immaculate attempt. He's got a Hellstorm if he needs it, but there's no need. Paris, gentlemates.
So that's how the round 11 went in the
Unbelievable
grand finals. 4-3 overload. Let's check that out. It's a pretty close one. Let's check out the scoreboard first. So 1.19 from Mercules, of course, the man who I've always doubted, labeled as a savior of OpTic. 28 and 27 from Shotzzy, Sib with 37 and 20, and then Neptune with 31 and 28. So great showing from both sides, but OpTic had way too much pressure on the map, and that's how they got the dub. Honestly, they were slaying the, of course, Paris mates out in their spawn for a while, so that also helped to increase the gap. Let me get to the end of this.
In the dying seconds, 20 to play.
Going for the capture, you guys. And, well, now you might want the Dravix in hand because we might be setting up for a rally capture. These
Thanks.
towards P2, the table.
And there's the third. The gentlemate still living in B.
Hitting them across the map and just playing keep away. But now number 8, going for the capture. You get the extra score. It might as well be a game. OpTic have stopped it. They have shut the spawn down.
They're making a run for it. They're making a run forward. A last-ditch attempt. 20 seconds on the clock. Shotzzy! In the dying seconds, 20 to play.
And it's the mid-map spawn as well. You're looking for the gunfights. You're trying to clear your base. Hook's going to be behind you. That's 3 in the feed there from OpTic, and they got the front man.
They're maintaining the position by B. Sid wins an unbelievable gunfight. Dashy suppressed out of the action. Shotzzy from upstairs finds one. The next defenders with 2 seconds to go. Sudden death.
4v4, it is TDM. OpTic have the device, which is a pain point because it's pistol, but if you're even on the life count, OpTic will get the win. The pressure right now is on. You have 2 win conditions secured for OpTic.
Shotzzy, one of the greatest power positions in the game. That broken plane, a quick retreat now. OpTic have all bases covered. Dashy far left flank, absolutely set. Shotzzy on the wall jumps here. He surely stays alive. Bruce is in a superb position. Ghosty crosses on the other side of the van.
Paris not making moves just yet. What is the play call going to be? They just have no intel on anyone.
2 through shot. They are desperate for a player to show face. Mercules, that's massive intel. Gets away with his life for now. Simp's trying to make something happen. He has infiltrated the house. He's out on the back line. Trades there, man advantage OpTic.
And it's a 1v1 right now. Dash is going to be going against Neptune, but it's actually Neptune last alive in a 1 versus 3.
Wait, last man! Nerves of steel. What?
Okay. So that is a Scar overload. Looking at the next matchup, we had exposure on HP. I'm sorry, HP on exposure. The inverse is the correct way to say that. Dashy was a standout with the 1.47. You'd have to think if the tournament was won by OpTic, he probably would get MVP for his finals performance, right? Shotzzy 28 and 23, 1.22, and then on the other side you had Neptune with the 1.32. He went takeover, and of course Envoy with the 1.09, but wasn't good enough to beat OpTic. Speaking of good enough to beat OpTic, the Paris Gentlemates were able to win this map number 5 behind a strong performance from who else but Sib and Ghosty, right? So Sib and Ghosty went nuts in this one, in this map too, and they were honestly just controlling it. They taught me how to play it a little bit more efficiently, so shout out to them. Yeah, not a lot to say there. Everybody on OpTic went negative apart from Merc, who went like obviously 1.8, so yeah. Looking at our next series, we of course had Overload Exposure. This one did not go down the wire at all. This was a 28. This is a 4-1 scoreline in favor of OpTic Texas. They just dominated the whole time. So from start to finish, they dominated that whole series. Looking at the standouts, of course, Shotzzy was a standout for OpTic, 28 and 20 with a 1.4. Mercules was a standout as well with a 1.24. Then you had Dashy with a 1.19, 25 and 21. Okay. All right, no more face cam. So looking at it, that's how we forced the game 5, and as you guys can see, mates won, hashtag mate win, 6-4, excuse me, and Dashy did his very best, 7 and 6, but on the other side, everybody had green lights next to their names, so they passed go and collected 200. Envoy 6 and 6, Neptune 8 and 7, Sib 9 and 7, and Ghosty 7 and 3, and that's how the Paris Gentlemates got it done. Now let's check out the series clinching S&D round. Oh yeah, let's see this clutch, because this was crazy.
Fight start to erupt. Neptune with a bomb recovery, and again, not a clue.
They have to know he's underneath. They have to know.
Mercules on the run, and this is it, 2v1. Smoke out by the bomb, Mercules here. Another miracle. Just maybe. The battle is on!
Dude,
Shotzzy
crowd was
still trying to play
electric.
some form of aggression over by the B-bomb site, just to keep the idea in the Gentlemate's head.
And for Gentlemates, Sib is the important man. He needs the information from his teammates, and then he can go and make the play.
It's a double cross. Over the top now, the guns start to ring out. Shotzzy glides across Scar, but it's a double back. 25 on the clock.
Catch Sib, 4v2.
Massive damage in from Hoop. Guns up, and Neptune and Ghosty find them. It's a 2v1 right now with Ghosty on the hunt. He finds it, a 1v1. 10 seconds to win. Dashy's got to hunt him down. Ghosty's got to stay alive. We're looking for the bomb. 2, 1, stays alive!
And that's how mate wins. Hashtag mate wins.
To the name of the Phantom. He disappears into thin air. Win for Neptune. The first for the organization. Elation here in
I was happy to see
Coliseum.
Neptune finally get his first win. He finally broke through.
Revenge from the winners finals. They got 6-0
So,
on Scar, S&D.
Yeah, as you guys saw in the box score, they got their get back for OpTic taking them down. So that was what wrap it up for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed all the action over this weekend. If you missed any of it, of course, there are highlights on the channel as always. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the 12th for a preview video going over what I expect going into Stage 2 before Major 2. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night, like I always say, and I'll catch you guys next one. Once again, this is Chris from Fakes vs. X Rotation. However the flip, you know me, this is the webs, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.